Hello everyone, my name is Richa Mahajan, Assistant Professor from the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Jagan Nath University, Jaipur. Today, my topic is types of photography. What are the types of photography and why these are important for photography? The world of photography is massive. Not only is there a litany of choice when it comes to cameras, lenses, accessories, and other equipments, but photographers also have a choice of countless genres in which to experiment. Often, photographers gravitate towards genres that are attractive to them for various reasons or that involve content that is important to them. While it is not unusual for a photographer to restrict themselves to one or more specific genres, especially when it comes to producing work professionally, experimenting with other types of photography is a great way to increase one's general knowledge of the field and bolster sets. Let's take a moment to explore the primary genres of photography and view some examples of each. Many more types exist, but most can sorted under one of these primary genres. Next is portrait photography. What is portrait photography? The broadest type of people photography is portraiture, covering everything from family portraits to fine art photography and commercial work. Often, the goal of portraiture is to show the character of a subject. To capture the person's personality and emotion in an image, portrait photography is also quite an accessible genre overall, not requiring more than a single prime lens and flash to start a high level or whatever equipment you already have if you are just testing the waters, but capturing the essence of a subject or meeting the goals for your commercial projects can take a lifetime of work. Look at the photo which I have pasted below. This the person who is in photograph and background is in not in focus. This is called portrait photography. Next is wildlife photography. Wildlife photography can bring out some of the most intense photographers you will meet, people who might spend hours on end waiting for an animal to wander into the perfect spot or search for creatures that most people would rather try to avoid. But it's also something you can practice in your own backyard or a short drive from where you live. Since there are animals to be found everywhere, from time to time you will see a photo series of wildlife that rivals the best images captured in more remote locations. Now look at the photo of wildlife photography. There is a bird. You can see minute details of the bird and background is in defocus. It's not focus. Photographer does not focuses the background, but the subject which he has taken is fully focused. Next is nature photography. Nature photography is a genre of photography that unlocks the beauty of natural elements in their natural habitat within a frame. It is an umbrella term it is an umbrella term that covers landscape photography, wildlife photography, and garden photography. The aspects of nature include a variety of subjects ranging from plants, animals, lush greenery in a personal backyard to a hidden natural wonder that laughs with colors. Further, photographers can also capture the dynamics of seasons as they transition or highlight an environmental concern to call immediate action, example photographing melting ice caps, extinction of animals, etc. A strong sense of passion and curiosity about the natural world influences your choice of subject, your intent to tell a story through your photography skills combined with the fascinating subjects aids you in delivering an epic shot. Look at the photo which I have pasted below, that is nature photography. Next is advertising photography. Advertising photography is a type of photography that focuses on taking pictures for high impact advertisements like what you would see in a magazine. These images are usually high quality, methodologically controlled and feature elements meant to engage with an audience. For example, a clothing brand is likely to use this type of photography to market its fall clothing line, featuring images that are stylized specifically to appeal to viewers and presents the brand's message. With this style of photography, the purpose is still to sell a product or service. However, the focus is less on the product and it's more about the narrative that the item represents. The extravagant image works to make the item more appealing than than it actually is, usually by placing it within a lavish context. For example, a luxury wine company is trying to sell its newest wine. In the advertising image, a woman in a bright red dress stands at the top of a mountain holding a small glass of wine. The photograph is bold and purposefully exaggerated. Next is fashion photography. Fashion photography focuses on the display of fashion clothing and items. It is most common on advertising boards and in fashion magazines. The photography will usually feature models wearing the display items. Fashion photography has existed almost as long as photography itself has been around. This type of photography has always changed with the times. Understanding new trends, creating new ones, and using past ones as inspiration are important technique to learn. Photographers don't just ensure that the correct photo has been taken, they also check the clothing, hair, and makeup of models. Magazines such as Vogue, Marie Claire, Harper's Bazaar, and more have budgets of millions of dollars to photograph in luxurious destinations. Next is night photography. Night photography immediately solves a huge problem that you confront confront constantly in photography. That problem is being faced with ordinary scenes that just are not very interesting. If you take a picture of a building or a standard street scene during the day, it can be full of dull. We are all used to seeing shots taken in the middle of the day. That same scene shot at night can be really interesting through though can be really interesting photograph though. The actual taking of pictures at night might seem a little bit like magic if you are just getting started. Even those who have been shooting a while may wonder how to get a proper exposure and focus in the dark. Although photographing in the dark certainly has its challenges, in ways it is actually easier than photography during the day. So let's take a quick look at the essentials of night photography. In particular, we will cover the gear you need. Here I have talked about gear, and gear is the equipment or camera that you will used for photography. How to expose your picture, how to focus at night, great subject matter, and some post processing tips. Hopefully, this will help open up the world of night photography to you. Next is forensic photography. Forensic photography is an essential technique used in the field of forensic odont- odontology that plays an important role in crime investigations as well as in medicology, medicological issues, which is also known as crime scene photography. Main significance of photography in forensic odontology is that is economical and provides evidence at a faster rate. Every photograph taken in a crime scene can be called into court as physical evidence. Hence, the crime scene photographer should have adequate knowledge of mechanics and technical skills for proper documentation of evidence. This paper highlights basic mechanical aspects that the forensic photographer should be concerned with to gain clear and focused photographs. Next is photography. What is aerial photography and how will we use it? An aerial photograph, in broad terms, is an photograph taken from the air. Normally, air photos are taken vertically from an aircraft using a highly accurate camera. There are there are several things you can look for to there are several things you can look for to determine what makes one photograph different from another of the same scene, including type of film, scale, and overlap. Other important concepts and used in an aerial photography are stereoscopic coverage, fiducial marks, focal length, roll and frame numbers, and flight lines and index maps. The following material will help you to understand the fundamentals of aerial photography by explaining these technical concepts. Look at the photo which I have pasted below. This is called an aerial photography. Next is political photography. Political photography is a genre of photography that focuses on capturing images related to politics, politicians, and political events. It involves documenting political campaigns, rallies, protests, meetings, debates, and other significant movements in the political sphere. The role of political photography is to visually communicate the essence of politics, convey the emotions and message of politicians and political movements, and provide a visual record of important political events. It can be used by news outlets, political organizations, campaigns, and individuals to inform, persuade, and influence public opinion. Thank you so much.